These are the Dolomites, a series of jagged mountain peaks in the north of Italy, filled with beautiful views, jaw-dropping and winding roads, bright blue lakes, beautiful sunsets and starry night skies. If you're new around here, we're Jack and Joe, that's our scruffy hitchhiker Frank, and this is Big P, our home on wheels that's taking us to wild places and wild adventures all over the UK and Europe. Join us for a road trip through the mountains as we experience the highs and some lows of van life in the Dolomites. So, put your feet up and come along with us for these wild journeys in the Dolomites. Good morning. Welcome to a beautiful day and I think the edge of the Italian Dolomites. Last time we were here, last time we filmed, we were in France. We then had a 2-week detour where we basically got boiled alive in 42-degree heat in France on a family holiday. Back on the road, back in some mountains. We're actually in Italy. We haven't seen much of Italy before, so we're excited to spend the next few weeks where I think we're basically going to be doing the Dolomites and then a bit of Florence and the bit of the coast near to Cinque Terre. But this video will be all about the Dolomites and we're very excited about the Dolomites. So come along with us as we seek out some wild places, some awesome hikes and just hopefully revel in the beauty of this mountainous area. The park up we're in is really great. Does have one flaw though. Last night there's a beach bar down there and the music was pumping, wasn't it, Joe? So we're having a bit of a slow one this morning because honestly it was so loud. We're having a brew with a view and then we're going to hit the road and we're going to head further into the National Park of the Dolomites and seek out some awesome mountain views. So yeah, come with us. After a little micro nap to get over that unexpectedly bad night's sleep, we packed up the van and set off for a twisty drive further into the Dolomites mountain range. Okay, so it turns out being kept up at night by an all-night rave is not good for our energy levels. We got to our park up, realised the ski lifts to this viewpoint basically stopped running at 5, so we couldn't be bothered to rush. So we've chilled here in a nice little park up, which is €10 the night, which is by a town called San Christina. I'm going to say San Christina, if not it'll be something different below. But we're going to go for a little evening walk through the town. It looks really nice. Going to pick up some supplies and hopefully find a nice drink with a view. And it's cooled down because it's super hot out there. Frank's already panting.
It's because we've closed all the windows, we're about to go out.
Alright, let's roll. It's a hard 20-minute hike up to the top of the village. The cable car is there that we were going to take, but it stopped. But we have got this pretty good bit of a view. I think we're going to have this, get an early night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Ready?
You guys ready?
Ready to go on the pass? What's that there? What's that there?
Morning. It is 7:15 this morning. It's early, a bit cloudy, but we're about to drive the Gardena Pass, which is like a road with loads of switchbacks, and we thought we'd get up early just to basically hopefully beat the crowds, so we can take it slow. Big P can take her time around all the switchbacks and we can enjoy the views. views are looking good already. Pulled up into a little viewpoint car park. There's a big P. The views are amazing. This viewpoint was a beauty, so as well as having a little walk to look down into the valley below, we stopped for a brew review. Turns out that you can actually spend the night here too, so I'll share the location below. After enjoying the views, we headed back down the Gardena Pass on the way to another beautiful spot in the Dolomites. There are plenty of beautiful alpine lakes to be found here, with the most famous being Lago de Brise. However, that lake can get incredibly busy. So we opted instead to go to Toblacher See, where, while busy, we're able to find a quiet spot to appreciate the vibrant, clear, glacial lake and river. Nice lake for a little walk, come back to the van, had a bit of a chill, and now we're going to drive on to the Tre Cime viewpoint car park. Hopefully they'll be opening the gates. It's about 3:45, and I've heard that 4 o'clock, 4:30 is like the best time to go, because that's when people have left and that's when they start opening things again. So let's go check it out. Really excited for this one, although there is a bit of a hair-raising drive again, which Joe isn't looking forward to. It's going to be fine, Joe. She's staring at me with uneasiness. What? Right, we're in the queue now. So they basically limit people that can go up to the beginning of this hike, purely because otherwise the roads will be havoc. But there's loads of parking you can do down there. There's actually an air down there if you didn't want to take the steep road, or you don't want to pay the €45. You can stay on the campsite or air and get a bus up. But we want the views. The views will be good.
That access road definitely was very steep though, so if your vehicle can't make it.
Was it steep?
The first road was steep. The first bit, when you get up to the top, on your way up to the top.
Do you reckon that's the steepest bit?
I hope so, because that was a lot.
Big P's good, mate.
Yeah.
Big P is good.
I don't doubt Big P. I think she
But
can make
that
it.
massive bus has just come up from it. We're...
In front of us, there is a huge motorhome.
Oh, really?
So if they can do it, Big P can do it.
Exactly.
Hold on there. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Have a great time. Thanks.
All right. That was not the steepest bit. This road was definitely challenging, but luckily traffic was spaced out, and after 10 minutes and with Big P barely leaving second gear as she tackled 10 or so switchbacks, we arrived at the top car park. The road was quite steep, but definitely worth it. We actually got up here and there was an awkward moment where we thought we weren't going to have like a front row seat, and then someone left. So we've got a pretty decent view outside our window. The second pretty decent view coming out of here. Like, are you ready for the big reveal? Right. Go on, Joe. It's like cutting the ribbon at a supermarket opened by a mayor. What? Worth the drive. Worth the €45 probably. and it's really nice and warm. So I think we're just going to chill here with a nice view, watch the sunset. You right there?
It's very warm, isn't it?
Chill here with a nice sunset. Then we've got an early start tomorrow because one of the most famous hikes in the Dolomites, maybe Europe, maybe even the world, starts from here. But let's watch the sunset first. Cheers, Joe. Cheers. Cheers, Frank. That sunset was beautiful. We've only just closed the door and it's about 10 o'clock tonight. Close the back grate, sorry. It's about 10 o'clock tonight. But the stars and just the view, it's definitely worth the money to come up here. It's just amazing. We've been outside with Frank just then as well, and we haven't seen starry skies like that since
In Borneo?
Borneo, like, yeah, just
Long time ago.
long time ago. Just stunning. But it's 10 o'clock. We've got to be up early because we're going to try and beat the crowds on this hike tomorrow. So catch you tomorrow. You ready for a hike, buddy? Frank? Good morning. It is 7 o'clock. We struck out early to do the Tre Cime di Laverado trail, which I think is about 10 kilometres. It's like a loop around this big rock here. Well, you can't see it, but I'll show you the rock. This big rock, and the views across the valley are amazing. Because we struck out a bit early, although people were getting here. So far so good with the crowds, but look at these views. Beautiful. It's a little bit of up, but I think the altitude's killing us more than the steepness of it. I think down there was about 2,300 meters in altitude, so yeah, quite high up to feel it, at least a little bit. But it's beautiful. Look at that. Look at that view, Frank.
It's okay.
I think this is the famous Tre Cime, which I think Joe thinks it means 3 chimneys. I think it means 3 peaks. We'll let you know when we get some internet signal. But it's beautiful. Trail's getting a bit busy now, but still not too busy. Still an enjoyable walk. So I think we're halfway now. We've just gone past the Refugio, which is like a hostel, restaurant and cafe. Would have been a really nice point to have a coffee, but top tip, cash only. And the only cash we have on us is a 1,000 Albanian lek, which has been sitting in the bottom of my backpack since we were in Albania last year, so not very useful. But it was a nice little rest stop. We had some water. What is that? Bird of prey or?
Definitely a bird of prey. Flying, can you see it there?
Oh yeah?
No, it was there.
Sorry, I got distracted by a bird of prey.
Was it a bird of prey?
It's some sort of bird, wasn't it? And I've got a hoverfly. Hovering in my head. Anyway, it was a nice halfway point. Had a quick refuel went to the toilet, and now we're going to head on for the last 5k, back round the Three Peaks. But the sun's finally kind of come over the rocks, so definitely we'll be walking back this way in the sunshine. So I think we're happy that we've left early. You see it?
No, I can hear it.
No, I can hear it. So it turns out that squeaking noise was not a bird of prey. It's, what did we say they were, Joey? A marmot, maybe? They basically look like mountain beavers. It's the best way to describe them. They're massive. Could probably have Frank in a fight, I reckon. But yeah, really cool. I think they're just shouting out an alarm. But maybe you wouldn't see this if you didn't get up early. Because I think once this trail's full of people, maybe they go back into their burrows or something. Super cool. How was your hiking experience, Frank? All good? You enjoy that one? We definitely enjoyed that one. Got back at like 10:30, so that was about 3.5 hours. I think my watch said we did about 15,000 steps and burned 3,000 calories. So that means we can eat all the chocolate that we want, Joe.
I was going to do it anyway, hon.
Now back in the van, got the kettle on. Gonna eat some food, and I think, well, we've got 24 hours, so we need to be out of here by 4. I think we're gonna wait until around like 2 or 3 to make our way down that road, and we're just gonna enjoy this view for the rest of the day. Definitely get up early, definitely do the hike. Well, just definitely get up early for this hike, because it definitely started getting busy as we were kind of coming to the end of it. But it's beautiful. 10 out of 10, would recommend. Good morning. After we came down from that amazing viewpoint, we basically found a ski lift car park, and we essentially just slept for the rest of the day or chilled out. We've actually moved on to another ski lift car park. It seems to be the done thing here, which is kind of cool. It's free parking, and they're really massive car parks. So yeah, lots of vans can stay here, and you're allowed to stay overnight. And well, as far as we know, you're allowed to stay overnight, and so the part of the night review say all that. Anyway, I'm blabbering. We've come to the ski centre car park, managed to nab a parking spot, and we're going to head on to another hike up to, I think it's called Cinque Torri. Terrible. 5 towers, which is some more awesome Dolomite rock formations. And there's an awesome cable car that we can go up, which we've asked, and Frank can go up on it, but it does look a bit sketchy, doesn't it, Joe? Yeah. It's like a ski lift. It's not like a gondola thing. It's like, anyway, we'll show you and we'll see how Frank gets on. Oh my God.
I got you, bud.
How are you feeling about this, Frank?
I've got him tight. His harness is like got a grip in it.
Oh, sick. Oh, God, I could ride this all day. This is so gentle.
It's so nice, isn't it?
€46 return. It's like a little cheat code, so you don't have to do all of the walk up, and then it means that you're fresh legs to do more of the hike up here, Joe.
That's right. Although it might be because we're lazy.
Lazy.
But it's lovely though. It's so relaxing.
So relaxing. Should we just not get off and just ride it back down?
Do you think they'd notice?
Just go on all day, yeah, they would notice.
We could pretend to get off at the bottom and then be like, oh no, sorry, we have
And then
to
go back up
again.
with like fake moustaches so they don't realise. So you guys have been riding this all day, so yeah.
Different hat each time.
After reluctantly stepping off the super relaxing chairlift, we arrived at the start of the Cinque Torri hike. This wasn't going to be a big one. We planned to only walk a few kilometres, but this walk has more than just scenic views to it. It also includes an open-air museum of sorts, with trenches and lookout points remaining or recreated as they were during World War I, when the Dolomites served as the front line of a brutal war fought at high altitudes between the Italian and Austro-Hungarian forces. Yeah, great. Whoa, thirsty work this hiking. Oh, wow. God, get in. Cheers. God, that's a pretty incredible view behind you. But there's also an equally as exceptional view just behind me of the Cinque Torri. Nice little halfway stop, although we might have not followed the official route and took a bit of a shortcut, but it's worth it to get a beer. We are on holiday after all. You right there, mate? You okay, bud? Get a good little scratch. All good?
Better?
Better? Cool. How's this for a scenic ride home?
Ready? Good job.
Oh. Whoa. How's that, bud?
Like not scared at all.
He's just fascinated by it. Cool, that is a view. Worth it just for the cable car ride.
Yeah, okay.
We went to bed, tired and excited to explore more of the Dolomites the next day. But things were about to take a bit of a challenging turn. Ooh, cold, 8 o'clock this morning. It's our last day in the Dolomites and we're saving a very cool activity as our last thing to do in the Dolomites. It's a little bit of a drive, our final windy drive through the amazing Dolomites. Last night, super quiet, the stars were incredible. I think while we haven't found like truly wild spots of like to have places on our own, like these car parks are just great. They're super quiet at night. Just, you know that you can park here, and they're usually next to all of the attractions and hikes that you want to go on. So cheers, Dolomites. And we're just waiting for the windows to de-steam so we can actually hit the road. Oh. Cheers, park up. You were great. Plans have not gone well. We drove up a hill. We were on the way to this viewpoint in a cable car called Marmalada, which just took us over a mountain pass. It was going to be amazing. But then there's a sign with a height barrier, with a height warning on it. I'm still not even sure if that is a problem. But anyway, So we decided to go into a turnaround. It was a bit of a weird, like gravelly turnaround with a bit of a steep drop. We were fine going in, but then as we came back out, I essentially just bottomed out, big P, and it's basically just ripped the exhaust off, is what Joe said. I've never been more thankful for RAC breakdown cover though, because they were really, really quick to answer my calls, and we've hopefully got someone on the way. Best case scenario, they can fix it here where we are right now. Where we were originally, where we broke down, Joe had to run out with the triangle, was on literally a switchback, but I managed to kind of bodge the exhaust pipe onto the frame so that it wouldn't fall off, and I drove up, and we're actually in a really scenic park up that you can spend the night in. We've already asked at the restaurant. But yeah, best case scenario, they can fix it, but Charlie, our mate, doesn't reckon he can. And the worst case scenario is that they will have to put us onto the back of a tow truck, take us back down to their garage. It's a Friday as well, so the worst case example would be, worst case scenario will be that we won't be able to get Big P seen to till Monday. But we're just going to take it as it comes. Thankfully we've got breakdown cover. Sounds like hopefully everything's sorted. I think it looks fixable, but I don't know anything about vehicles, so I could be chatting breeze. But we'll let you know. Lovely scenic park up though, beautiful views. It was not fixable at the side of the road, so we waited. Parked up outside this restaurant about 2,000 metres in elevation at the top of about 20 switchbacks until we were picked up by a recovery truck who took us for a hair-raising drive back down all of those switchbacks towards the garage. What a day. The guy in the tow truck didn't come until about 2:30. We then went down the road with the height limit, because it's basically a tunnel carved out of rock, and the height limit's like 3.2. It says no higher than 3.2. He just went for it. Nearly crapped myself when that happened. But we were fine. It actually turned out it was 3.4 if you go in the middle of the road, so the whole problem as to why we turned around could have been avoided if we didn't use that turning point and bottom out. But it's what it is. Thankfully RSC breakdown cover has put us in this hotel, and it's actually alright. Like, look at this view. We're gonna go smash a bottle of wine and a massive pizza in town. See you tomorrow. Hopefully we have some good news. It's not a bad place to be stuck and broken down into, is it? Good morning. So the van isn't fixed. It's Sunday today. Yesterday they looked at it in the garage, which is rare for Italy because usually the garages are closed at the weekend. But he said he knows what the problem is and hopefully he'll fix it tomorrow, or at least early in the week. Yesterday we came up to this wonderful viewpoint. But Joe, did we hike yesterday? No, we just had a few drinks looking at a glacier, which was pretty cool. But today we're actually going to go out on a hike. That's the Marmolada Glacier there. And just at the top there is the Marmolada viewpoint, which is where we were travelling to before the incident. But it's really nice around here. The town that we're staying in, Arabba, is really, really nice. There's a really cool cable car that takes you up to Porto, Vescovo, which is about 2,300 metres in altitude. And we're going to do a walk along the ridge of this kind of like glacial valley, and then take a cable car back down to the town this morning. Whew. I'm out of breath as altitude keeps doing me. The route we plan to walk is called the Sentiero del Pan, a fairly flat walk with views across to Marmolada Glacier and the valley beneath it. Marmolada is known as the Queen of the Dolomites. It's the highest peak in this mountain range, and with its glacier has a hugely significant place in the history of the local area. beautiful view so far. It's like alpine butterflies flying around in the long grass. Then you've got swallows darting in between the valley. The views here were incredible. The combination of mountain fresh air and surrounding nature really helped take our mind off the little bit of van trouble we've experienced. Oh, and the refugios with bars and food along the trail also helped. Cheers. How good is Italian hiking? So we got to the gondola that we should have taken, but the guy there said that there's roadworks on the path down at the bottom, so we'd have to walk along the road. So he sent us on a pretty wacky detour, would you say, Joe? Yeah. It's down like a mountain bike path, which you're not allowed to walk down, but he said it's fine for this occasion. It's really beautiful, but we've essentially, you can see where we started over there. We've just done a massive loop of the whole valley. And now we just need to get over this hill until we can finally get a chairlift down. It's been beautiful, but the planned 3-hour hike has turned into, we've been out for 6 hours now. It's been beautiful, we've had lunch. But yeah, genuinely, look at where we are. Big P's back. Woo! Came out of the workshop on Monday, so they just replaced the exhaust the exhaust connecting pipe that we basically crunched. Driver error. We've learnt our lesson. We've now driven out of the Dolomites. We've stopped at a Lidl. We've eaten all of the croissants, and we're ready to head on to our next part of our Italy road trip. But that'll be for another video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next adventure through where we're going to go. I think we're going to head towards the sea in Italy, via Florence and Tuscany, and drink loads of wine. It sounds perfect, doesn't it? See ya.